Oh my God. Alrighty then. Oh, it's hot. Ouch.
sometimes it's nice to just sit and think.
You all right, newbie? Have you been to see the refugees? I can't believe poor Cole was put in a cage. Hey, what a mess. Cole came to us with a group of refugees from some nearby villages. They were looking for shelter from, well, everything that's been happening here. Bandits, the weirdness, the Del Reader, hunger. I was happy Fergus let them in and allowed them to stay. You'll meet them in the village. They live in the buildings up high. Not long ago, though, Cole started acting very strange, erratic, sometimes even aggressive. One of our keepers, old Mahon, tried to calm him down. He might have used too much force, and Cole felt compelled to defend himself. He bit old Mahon. And since then, the old fool has been lying in the infirmary. Frankly, I think Mahon brought it on himself. They shouldn't have put that poor man in a cage. Wait, if you ever meet Patrice, please give her those flowers. I know it's not much, but I'd like her to know she's not alone. I support her and the other refugees. And I'm sure there are more of us who do. Good to see you again. The pledge today was very interesting, wasn't it? The certainty in Quartermaster Aymer's voice. Beautiful. Makes one eager to start work. So, what do you need this time? The pass again? Are we planning a trip to the Stale Lamb? Hey, not this time, my friend. I've run out of ink. I'm waiting for a delivery. Steward Orla will let me know when more arrives. In the meantime, I need to ask you for a favor. So, you in? For the sake of our long friendship? Orla. I'm sure I'm not mistaken. Anyway, about that favor I asked of you. I guess you still haven't sobered up, huh? The Stale Lamb. You know, the tavern in the village below the keep. It's run by Ron. Truly a great place. I hope they're not planning to close it down. Oh, they wouldn't do that, right? You do know it needs to stay between us. Fantastic. So, here's the thing. On a recent night out at Ron's, it seems I may have left some sensitive documents at the bar. Documents, with Captain Fergus' seal. But not necessarily sealed by him. You know what I mean. I can't really go there right now. Could you get them back for me? I'm sure it won't be too much of a problem. Splendid! When you have the documents, meet me at the third crowing of the rooster. Or just find me. I'll be around. Expect to see you. You're back!
Blessings upon you, stranger. May the word always resonate within your soul. What do you mean, my child? I'm afraid you are attributing too many characteristics to me based solely on the clothes I wear. The Horns of the South are my home. My mission is to spread the word. The word is good. I'm afraid that I simply cannot believe your blasphemous words without proof. Father Leon. I knew him in my youth. He was my mentor, a truly devoted servant of the Prophet. Back then, he was already showing signs of being overly devoted, let's call it. He followed the word and the word alone, which might seem commendable, but it doesn't necessarily make for easy, everyday communication between brothers. He answered questions with quotes. Can you imagine? We never knew whether his faith was truly that strong, or if he was just mocking us. So, this letter, well, it doesn't prove much. It's true that it's written in a normal way, and not using quotes, but the seal matches, and the handwriting too, so I dare not question its authenticity. I dare say, however, that Father Leon's devotion might have turned into madness. Why shouldn't it? It's a sickness, a corruption, but also a mystery. Many of my brothers would call it a curse, a stain upon Avalon that must be purged. And yet, I wonder, did Kai not teach us that all things have a purpose? That even suffering carries wisdom? The weirdness twists and warps, yes. It consumes and it takes. But it also gives. Life grows in its wake. Strange and terrible, but life all the same. If we are to fight it, we must first understand it. And that is what frightens the Church most of all. Understanding. As prepared as any men can be against something they barely understand. Swords and fire will hold back beasts. But what of the creeping rot that twists flesh and mind alike? But there is one thing. The Excalibur they keep here. It has not been wielded in an age, yet the weird does not creep near it. Well, even as it rests upon its pedestal, the air around it remains untouched. The tendrils of corruption that strangle stone and steel refuse to claim it. The Keepers may not see it for what it is, but I do. There is power in that blade. Something ancient, something beyond the Church's teachings. And if it truly holds back the weirdness, then perhaps it was never meant for men alone. Safe? No. But safer than most, I suppose. But tell me, what is safety, truly? A stronghold? A weapon? A prayer? I've seen men with all three fall just the same. So no, I do not feel safe. But I do feel watched. And sometimes that is enough. Certainly. Kai's blessings... May Kai's...
Name's Orla. I'm a merchant. Or I try to be, when my business isn't being held hostage by a bunch of idiots who seem to be terrified of women. What was I thinking when I decided to leave Timberwall? Should have stayed there. You've never been to the merchant capital? Well, you didn't miss much. Yes, it's rich and extravagant, but only if you're rich and extravagant, too. Other than that, it's a place like any other. The same pain and misery hiding behind gilded walls. It's not as exciting as people think. Or, well, maybe it is, if you like living with a bunch of backstabbing crooks. Yeah, now I remember what I was thinking when I left that place. I have no home in Timberwall. Well, we have an estate, but it hasn't felt like home for a long time. I feel like every time I go back, I recognize it less and less. The people are getting greedier and more desperate by the day. Business is slow, I'm not gonna lie. With the weirdness creeping in from the north and bandits everywhere, trade's just not as profitable as it used to be. But, I don't know. Being a merchant from Timberwall used to mean craftiness, taking risks, looking for opportunities. Now, they only care about keeping their heads down and preserving their fortunes. Not really. It's more of a requirement if you ever want to be successful in Timberwall. My family is full of them. Oh, love, plenty. And almost none of them happy. I'll never forget the first time we stumbled upon a place after a cloud of the weirdness oozed through. It was a small settlement, just a few houses. There was this odd, bitter taste in the air. The place was completely abandoned. Or so we thought. Until we started finding them, one by one. A man who tried to chop off his legs after they started sprouting antlers. Another one who gouged his eyes out, so he wouldn't have to look at his child melting into the floor. A woman in the farthest corner of the settlement managed to stab herself in the heart before it got to her. I almost dropped it all and ran back to Timberwall that day. I'm still not sure why I didn't. I guess giving up just isn't in my nature.
Please, state your... Go chop off some heads.
Keep me company or put me out of my misery. Just kidding. Love the view, but this weather is killing me. Always windy. Always moist. You don't say. I didn't choose to be here. Our beloved quartermaster sent me to freeze my arse off. He said, as punishment for spitting on the good name of the keepers. Whatever the hell that means. I just got drunk in the tavern and lost half my pay. And maybe some of my clothes. But I mean, why would he even care? It was my gold. I can spend it how I please.
Oh, aye. I need a warm coat. And I mean the absolute warmest coat you can get, huh?
Osprey might have something in stock or know how to make one. I'd ask myself, but he's not exactly speaking with me these days. Thanks, friend. I knew I could count on you.
Oops.
Hey, tell me, can you read? Listen, I'm no good with words. Could you read me a letter from my sister? She's learning how to read and write. Can you believe it? She writes letters to me. I'm so proud of her. Oh, thanks. Here's the letter. So, do you have time to read that letter for? No, you must have misunderstood something. What do I do now? I don't know. I don't know what to do. I should go back to him, right? I guess that's true. Yes. Excuse me. I need to be...
a scale armor. Scale armor. What do you think of it? The ones all the keepers wear. Sure, maybe it's easy to make and doesn't restrict movement, but it doesn't provide the best protection. Someone just needs to stab you between the scales and you're done for. The metal armor is much better. That will prevent you from being run through with a polearm or getting shot with a bow. It's also much more comfortable. I read a lot about it. In Volume 4 of the Armourer's Almanac, Arden's Shadowblade describes the differences between various types of armor. For example, chainmail allows for a good range of movement, but it's heavy. It also provides poor protection against blunt weapons, and its production is laborious. Shadowblade is a moniker. Arden is passionate about weapons and armor. He has great knowledge of materials, techniques, and history. A true expert. Everything he writes is interesting. I would love to meet him one day. No, but I have knowledge from books and a lot of thoughts on the subject, so I know what it would be like to wear different armor. I told them, but they both said I know jack shit. Besides, the keepers rarely go outside the walls nowadays. Then the quartermaster added that if I don't like our equipment, he could send me out scouting in just my underwear. Perhaps you're right. But if somebody ever stabs me under the scales, I'll go straight to the quartermaster and give him an earful. Oh, of course. I mean, I've never made one. I'm not an armourer. But I've read so much about it that I'm sure it won't be a problem. Here's the page from the Armourer's Almanac that explains the process.
What a nice day.
Hey. Hello. Are you also wondering why the heck we need them? Lighthouses. Why the hell are Dara and his workers pushing so hard to build the second one? Is one not enough? Is it because one is less than two and less is worse? I mean, two lighthouses next to each other are almost the same as one, and ships don't even sail this way anymore. Ah, symbolism. Yeah, maybe, whatever that is. Aye, why would they? The waters are treacherous, so no ships. Storms and the weirdness are a deadly combination. Besides, who'd have the time to build or repair them? There are enough problems on the island. We don't need more. Well, not much going on here, as you can see. Things have been a bit different lately, due to the refugees. One was even hanged for theft. But I can't say much more as I wasn't there. If you're interested in the horns, you should visit our museum. You'll learn more about that fella, Swal, or whatever his name is. What do I think? As long as they follow the rules, they can stay. And if they don't, then they can hang. That's all. Folks are saying that there's some other group, probably more dangerous, not so far from here. If they come closer, well, that wouldn't be too good. Aye, it's boring, but at least you don't have to pay to enter. But almost nobody goes there anyway. You can stay here and serve. Sit in the tavern, drink and eat something. If you're looking for an adventure, you'll have to go elsewhere. There's always something happening out in the world. But you know what? Here in the south, everything happens late. It's a big world out there, and a small one right here. Gotta admit though, it does look pretty majestic. Stay quiet, stay safe.
Watch the feet! Your feet! I swear, your nosiness will be the death. I have everything I need, and you, the fly in the ointment. I'm Owen, and this is what I do here. Always. It's safe, and when the weirdness... I let Rark in. He doesn't talk so much. He's my bet. My hoe in your skull would be worth 1,000 words. No, I can handle a few seagull. You need to...
Just keep your head down. Just keep your head... Bloody seagulls! Can you hear me, you flying vermin? Just try landing here and I'll pluck your asses clean. A keep by the sea. What a great idea that was. And what do you want? I'm fixated. Me? Oh, you didn't see what they did to me a week ago. I was just standing watch as usual, and then, suddenly, splat. A dozen of them flying overhead, screeching, shitting and whatnot. So, I yelled what I think about them, shaking my fist. And then another 4,
Splat! And they kept screeching. I tell you, they're laughing at me. I spent all night cleaning my armor. Sewell didn't think it through when he decided where to put the keep, mark my words. Sure. If you haven't noticed yet, everything here tries to destroy you, including the bloody seagulls. I once managed to shoot a few. I thought they'd learned their lesson and wouldn't be flying over here anymore. And guess what they did? They kept shitting. With increased force. Like they're planning it. Vengeful scoundrels. I need to try a different strategy. Find something that will make them feel real terror. Like the way crows are afraid of scarecrows in fields. I'm sure seagulls also have something that scares them. We just need to find out what it is. Oh, thank you. I just need you to bring me some kind of a bird scarer. They'll learn their lesson. I don't know. I'm not sure if there's anyone crazy enough to take up something like this. There is one guy in the museum, Riderick. He's supposed to know everything. There you are. What are you waiting?
Were you at the pledge? I didn't see you. Yeah. Victory over health. Honor over life. Yeah. Bandits, tribes, Sodom all. Sleep, damn it, is the worst son of a bitch I ever fought. No sleeping, no. The service is eternal. Where would we be if Seawall took naps all the time? You need to serve, not... But I'm not gonna lie. That potion from Eber, our physician, works miracles. You could stand on the walls all day and night and not even think about closing your eyes. What? Listen, pal, I never asked. I just came in the evenings when I was getting sleepy and took it. And then Yan put it somewhere else. Keeper's vigor. Good stuff. Excuse me? Sir...
Stay quiet, stay safe. Stay out of my way.
What do you need? This is a prison, not a museum. At least, that's what they tell me to say. I'm supposed to be intimidating. Grrr. so the prisoners are scared of me. Usually, it's nothing but interesting folks. I'm telling you, in these crazy times, every one of them comes in with some wild tale. But right now, quiet as can be. Good thing I've got my books. All my adventures are in there these days. Because I am. I asked for this post. Just to get some peace, quiet, and warmth. No useless small talk. No shrieking seagulls. And none of that cursed biting wind. I'm telling you, it's heaven. And I get to read my books too. So if you've got anything interesting, I'd be glad to trade.
you're back!
Oh, sorry. Do I know you? I'm terrible with faces. I'm Jan Heber, a physician raised in Camelot and trained in the Royal Academy. Lanzo knows very well what he must do. I'm sorry, but there's nothing else I can do for him. Either he removes the tooth, or it will keep hurting. Yes, his grandma's miracle medicine. I honestly don't have time for village superstitions. I had to confiscate the recipe as well, lest he tries making it himself. As if I don't have enough problems already. No, I thought I made myself clear. If you want an excuse to drink yourself to oblivion on moonshine, just drink the moonshine. No need to add other potentially dangerous ingredients. Well, to be fair, the base recipe is pretty harmless. But what if someone decides that if they don't have carnation, it's perfectly fine to substitute it with devil's snare, since the color is more or less the same? Or sage with wolfsbane, because, you know, leaves are leaves. I'm sorry, but unfortunately I know these people well enough not to trust them with something like this. What? How do you... You know what? Fine. Do whatever you want. But if it causes you to shit yourself for 3 days straight, don't come running to me. Why would you, though? Don't you have better things to do? Well, if you're not in the mood for sharing, then you might have more success getting people to trust you with their personal matters if you were... Aha, got it. So you're up for work, not out of the goodness of your... Understood. It's a good reason. Well, I'd say it's better than most. But all right, if you're a mercenary, then I do have a job for someone who'd be willing to risk their life in exchange for material goods. Back at the Academy, I found an ancient scroll written by the Druids. Forbidden knowledge, especially now, after the mob forced them all into a wicker man and burned every last one of them to ash. I finally deciphered it a little while ago. It describes a ritual that needs to be performed at night within a stone circle. And guess what? There's one in the nearby forest. I guess you already know what I need you to do, hmm? That is an excellent question. But I don't know. From what I've been able to decipher, it's a summoning spell to bring something or someone to our world. That being will share its great knowledge with the one brave enough to summon it. I need you to remember what it says and repeat it to me after you're back, word for word. Isn't it obvious? I'm the only medic they have here at the Horns. I'd like to see Fergus's face if he hears about me going out there. And here I am, thinking that everyone's already heard about the Charred Conclave. Well, it wasn't the proudest moment in our history, that's for sure. You truly don't know. At some point, the villagers all around the island decided that the Druids were responsible for the Red Death, and all other ailments of our times. They rounded them all up in a massive wicker man north of the Forlorn Swords, and burned them all to ashes. Hundreds of years of knowledge gone within the blink of an eye. But, well, that's what's bound to happen when you stop paying for people's education and invest in keeping the elites fed instead. In Camelot, maybe, but this far south? Nobody cares. I've spent my entire life digging through scrolls and books in pursuit of their knowledge. I've been reading about their rites and the descriptions of their rituals. Look, I'm sure they were onto something. They knew much more than we do, but it feels like there's a veil wrapped tightly around that knowledge. It's like I need to find the right spell, the right ritual, something that will unwrap it for me. Is some local witchcraft I've been trying to make sense of. I guess I'll find out when I try it. Experience is the best teacher. Don't worry, I'm not testing anything on the others. Graham the Mad, a great Camelotian physician, used to say that a real doctor would never give his patient something he hadn't tried on himself first. A wise approach, which I follow myself. What irony? Oh, that was unexpected. Here, take it. What will happen, I have no idea. But please, tell me, if you live to find out. The pursuit of knowledge it takes true guts to face the unknown, to realize just how little you know, and how insignificant you are to the world. I was classically trained in the proper art of medicine by the scholars of Camelot. The things they do here, they make no sense. No sense at all. Most of this stuff shouldn't even be effective, yet it seems to work wonders on these simple-minded, tough-bodied people here in the south. Shipments from Camelot are late, so I'm running low on supplies. If I'm not able to treat them, they'll start complaining. And Fergus doesn't like when people complain, especially when it comes to their health. He truly cares about them, I've got to admit. He doesn't care much about anyone else, though. I don't dream about anything anymore, so sleep feels like a waste of precious time. Fortunately, back in Camelot, I found a mix of remedies that can keep me awake for a whole week. It was quite popular in our study group. Oh no, every physician needs his secrets. But I can sell you some if you promise not to tell any of the higher-ups. There are side effects. You won't fall asleep for a while, but the moment you do, well, you'll feel like you died and came back to life, only to die again. So you either take the next dose, or endure it. I can endure it because I don't have a post to attend to. But our brave soldiers, well, that'd be risky. Well, they already trust my word, and I'll be sure to deny everything. Moreover, I'm in the position to raise my prices, or to refuse to sell you medicine, whichever suits my mood. I'm honestly quite offended you're even asking. Healing diseases, sometimes cutting people open. Oh, and pulling out teeth seems to be a leading cause of concern for everyone around here. Me pulling teeth in the arse end of the world? My friends back in Camelot would laugh their brains out.
what. Sir, I haven't seen you before. I wasn't expecting any guests, and you don't look like a new recruit. And yet, Odrin let you in. He's not drinking again, I hope. Huh, that's surprising. The name's Fergus, and I assume you already know I'm the quartermaster here. Now state your business. And please, try to be convincing, or the walls of this fortress will be the last thing you'll ever see. Yes, I know. And that's why you're still standing in front of me. However, these pens were only given to certain people. They mean that in times of trouble, these people will always find a safe haven here in the Horns. And that makes me wonder, what happened to your friend? Where is he? If what you're saying is true, he must have had a deal with somebody well above my pay grade, and that leaves only the captain. However, if you're lying, then you might as well have just confessed to the murder of a Knight of the Round Table. But nobody's that much of a fool, I think. Fortunately for you, I've seen my fair share of morons in life, and you don't look like one. Fortunately for me, this pen only means that I'm to make sure you're safe in the Horns. Nothing about helping you out with whatever you're up to. Anyway, welcome to the Horns of the South. Make yourself at home. We've been having trouble with the dead lately. The kind that don't want to rest in peace. There are more and more of them roaming the area. It might just be the weirdness, as it has been steadily creeping closer from the north, but somehow I doubt it. Anyway, I suggest you go see Marg first. He knows best what's going on there. He's our huntsman. He keeps us stocked with meat, so the lads don't have to live on fish alone. They get pretty grumpy when that happens. Right now, Marg is the only other person who's allowed to leave the keep. I'm not about to risk the life of our last link to the outside world, especially when you're so eager to lend a hand. There is a local legend about a dark druid named Slaughter? Slaughter, that was it. He was a necromancer rumored to be able to raise the dead and make them do his bidding. It's quite an old legend, though, so unless he managed to raise himself from the dead, I doubt he's behind this. It's old. From what I've heard, it even predates the Horns of the South. The keepers and the people from the village below used to bury their dead there, but after the flood, it's been pretty much abandoned. Yeah, damn druids. They flooded a village of innocent people just to show everyone they're still in power. Fat lot of good it did them. I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad we got rid of them. The things they could do were unnatural. It's not far, and it's hard to miss. But honestly, I'd suggest you go see Marg first. You don't really know what you're walking into, so if I were you, I'd try to learn as much as possible beforehand. The captain forbade anyone... Your words, not mine. Good. Try not to get yourself... Excalibur. You want to pull it out? That's a good one. Well, be my guest. If you think you can, go ahead. But unless you're King Arthur reborn, I wouldn't count on it. I'm Captain Brandon's right hand. He deals with the serious matters I don't want to know anything about. I take care of our everyday life. Fine then. This is the keep. Anyone sworn in as otherwise, they're not allowed to go there without... You're allowed to walk around the keep and the village. But if anyone catches you stealing, That's between her and the captain. Were it up to me, she'd be long gone. Her presence here distracts my men. He's not our first line of defense. The archers are. Every man here needs to have a job. And no offense to Odrin, but let's just say we can afford to lose him. I'm sure the hordes of visitors... It used to belong to the keep. You could say it was its beating heart. That village was where our lighthouses led the ships, and where the workers lived with their families. Ah, those must have been the days. But then the ships stopped coming, and there were less and less new keepers, and the others left looking for a better life. Until, at last, the sea took most of it. Depends on your idea of interesting. There's a weird statue with a gong, but I'm not sure how much of it is left. Other than that, probably just damp rubble. I don't know. Ask Marg. I'm pretty sure he just sits there all day instead of hunting. No wonder we've been eating nothing but fish. What else was there to do? We wiped out most of them. Yes? Did you find out what's been happening? Why not? Just as I thought. If you have friends among the knights, you'll want to talk to the captain. But that's not happening anytime soon. Because I said so. What? Did you really expect that you could just enter our keep and head straight for the captain's quarters? There wouldn't be much point in having walls and guards here if anyone could just do that, would there? Ninian. I knew the Red Death would take him. Damn shame. He was one of the good ones. You did right bringing this back. The Horns look after their own, even after they're gone. But, now that I think of it, how did you manage to get hold of his tag? Tortured? In the asylum? You can't expect me to take that at face value. Brother Riagan said Ninian was too weak to survive the journey. They came for him, and we even held a symbolic keeper's burial for him. And what were you doing in the island asylum? You look fine, but if you were there, near him... I'm sorry this happened to you. Still, you have to understand, now that you've told me this, I'll be keeping a close eye on you. No risks can be taken when it comes to the Red Death. That's one of our tags. Every soldier gets one when they pledge their loyalty. I just hope the body you took it from was already cold, because killing a keeper would land you in some serious trouble. You know, here's what I'm thinking. If you stumble over any of our fallen keepers out there, bring me their tags. Sure, they all swore to stay here until the bitter end, but they have families who deserve to know what became of them. It's part of my duty, but since I can't send any more beyond these walls, maybe you could lend a hand. I'll pay you for every tag you bring back. You know where to... Yes? Why not? If you need rest...
Owen? Yes, he's my best friend. We don't even need words. Heck no. You should have seen Owen 20 years ago. He was sharp as a pin and could get anything done. If you wanted something, you went to Owen, and he always found a way to help you. Politics. What else? Owen survived 3 captains. One was terribly lazy. He just sat there like moss on a log and did jack shit. That frustrated Owen. Then there was another one. He was afraid of everything. So all he did was kiss Camelot's ass. And that blocked Owen's ideas to do something meaningful with this fish shack. And when it was finally Brandon's turn, Owen was already fed up with all this. It's funny, isn't it? First captain who doesn't mind introducing new ideas, and our local revolutionary has given up already. So now he just putters around in his little garden trying to find some peace in the twilight of his life.
Eyes forward, and mind your step.
This feeling, it was so strong, so real. I remember now, the weight of it, the power. This blade was never just steel. It was a part of me. Yes, the sensation is unmistakable, but it carries more than my soul. It carries a part of my legacy. A sword like that, it doesn't yield easily. It demands strength of body and of will. You'll need to grow stronger before it will choose you.
Welcome to the Museum of the Horns of the South, the southernmost keep under Camelot's jurisdiction. My name is Ridderick, and I will be happy to introduce you to the rich history of this fascinating place. A history that began 623 years. I'd also like to bring... It began in the year... It took... I don't doubt it. Drawing up as you... Oh, of course. Sewell was... He was also the founder. The museum holds a collection of 72 items of the so-called movable, tangible. The collection includes big... here you will find militaria. But I'd say all exhibits are... Those would be the... What? Yes, it's remarkable, isn't it? On it me. It is. That. I have to admit that local fauna is not one of my main areas of interest, but I do know the answer to this question, as it is rooted in the history of the Horns of the South. It used to be the case that a significant part of the daily catch was gobbled up by our troublesome coastal neighbors. So the keepers of that time found a very peculiar way to deal with the problem. Some of them, called the seagullers, scared off the coastal birds using specially constructed masks. They made them from feathers and pieces of tanned pigskin sewn together. The reason the gulls avoided these masks is unclear, but perhaps their peculiar shape reminded them of a natural predator? Really? Do you mean it? Usually people only come. The last person who seemed to actually be interested in the museum was Lady Elaine. It was described in the last... Definitely. Personally, I believe that people gifted with curious minds should share their observations, for there's always a chance it will result in new developments. You should find Lady Elaine in the tavern, or somewhere close to it. Good luck.
Stay quiet. There you are, finally. There you are, finally. Do you have what I need?
Seawall. He was the first to set foot on Avalon, not me. He decided that if anything were to attack us in this strange land, he would shield me and take the first blow himself. I remember loyalty. A fierce, unwavering loyalty. To me and to Avalon. He must have been someone I trusted deeply. Perhaps as we move forward, more memories of him will come back to me. For now, I only hope his loyalty wasn't in vain. It's more than a sword, but... the horns of the South. The crown jewel of these lands. We had barely laid the foundations of course, it helped, and thus I decree, but I am...
just stay put... There you are, finally. A mask? Ah, whatever, sod it. Now they'll get what's coming to them, damn rascals. You can go now. You're right. Here, take this. But are you ready for the next step in our... That's the spirit! In a war like this, every... Look, I've got the perfect seagull trap design right here. You just need to make a few and set them up in some strategic spots, like this one. And those flying pests will surely get caught. We need to work smart. And I appreciate that. But this war still needs soldiers. And you can be my first officer. Never. As long as I live and can do something. Go on then. Just stay put. Everything will be just fine. The less attention, the better. Forward and mind your step.
just another peaceful moment.
Huh. It's for Dan, isn't it? That ungrateful bastard's still on the wall.
Disagreement? Sure, you could call it that, and I guess I might have overreacted a bit.
But since Dan is on the wall and I'm here, I couldn't tell him that I get it. The prank and all. And I forgave him a long time ago. Now that I think about it, it was a hell of a prank.
Well, he was right. I am old, but inefficient stung a little bit. After all, I did my job well, and his sword is as sharp as Excalibur itself.
Well, I may not be angry with him anymore, but that doesn't mean I'll work my ass off so that his doesn't freeze. Here's an explanation of how to make it. Feel free to help him out yourself. I heard that Dew fell down the stairs and didn't break a single bone. So that's a start. Other than that, no, I can't think of anything.
Sometimes it's nice to just sit and think.
I'm not good.
Watch your backs.
Your road is here. I'll teach you to respect me.
mistake. rise in the soil. Remain vigilant. I'm invincible! You're no match for me. Stay sharp. Hold your ground, men. I'll strike you down. We're not safe here. We have company.
Oh, not much. Yourself? Sounds good. I actually just started playing this game. This is the second time I played it. I've mostly been playing Oblivion Remastered. What about yourself? What game have you been playing? Yeah, on the most part. I usually start streaming at 3 a.m. my time, and then tell my kids get up for and get ready for school. Yeah, Minecraft's pretty good too. PC. Yeah, I think so. Pretty much take care of my kids. Pretty much game. Much free time as I'm able to get, I play games pretty much. That's pretty much when my kids are in bed, sleeping. Hobbies. Well, don't really know. Don't really have many hobbies. I think it was about December. For fun. Like, I'm already playing the game, so might as well stream it. Thanks for the follow. Thank you, thank you. Always appreciate the follow.
Need to sprinkle any more just because you're lazy.
Eh, fine, fine. But if that bastard doesn't buy the noose from us, I swear I'll strangle.
your prayers. I'll have your head on a pike.
And alrighty then. I'd want to say it's pretty close. Definitely not a bad game for their first one that they made.
Show yourself.
What do you mean?
I will bleed you.
Yeah. Is that low? Well, I'm okay with it. This is my lucky day. You're no match for Yeah, it's in the About Me section. It needs a lot of work.
I'm not giving up yet. You'll be fertilizing the soil.
Cool. Yeah. Oh, I'm not playing hardcore where the only time you can save is at the fires. I'm not that good at gaming.
This is my lucky day. This is going to hurt.
No! Shoot.
I'll make you pay for that.
Right. No, I haven't heard about that game. I'll have to look into it. Oops. Ah, yeah. I like those kind of games too. With sailing and everything. Except for that new one that they came out with, was it Ubisoft?
Stay quiet, stay safe.
Can't go.
Service. Service. Eater.
I should stay out of trouble.
You're back! Hi! Can't believe it's come to this. They just... Stay safe out there.
Ah, you're back! Thank you! Ah, here, take this as my thanks for your help. A necessary lot, if you ask me. We used to keep the roads clear and the word beasts at bay. But some of my brothers act like they're gods in boots. Power does that to a man. With steel, fire, and guts. Not much else we can do. But the weirdness, it has a way of creeping past swords and walls. Can't fight what you can't see, eh? It's been near 20 years now. Back then, it was more about duty than choice. My grandmother raised me, you see, but age caught up to her as it does to us all. She needed care and coin was scarce. Joining the Keepers? It was the only way I could make sure she got what she deserved. A warm bed, proper meals, and a little peace in her last years. Every damn day, she was my anchor, you know? Taught me right from wrong, how to keep my head when the world went mad. Even now, when I'm patrolling these walls or facing some weird touched horror, I hear her voice, clear as a bell, telling me to stand tall. I only hope she was proud of the man I became. She learned from her ma, and her ma before her. It's a tradition passed down through the family. Knowledge of the old ways. Not that these so-called healers give a damn about tradition. It still hurts a bit.
Thank you, friend. Let me repay your kindness. Even though I don't have much, I can at least tell you about something I saw a little while ago. It might be interesting for an adventurer like you. See those rocks near the shore? When it gets dark, sometimes I see a light there. I'm not sure what it could be, though.
A bandit camp this close to the Horns? Impossible. The Daliata? No way. They wouldn't hide like that. Maybe something else entirely?
It's probably nothing, but maybe you could find something interesting or valuable there.
Farewell.
Just another peaceful moment.
I suppose it has. A pity it has become a hunting ground for bandits. But do not worry, my friend. Let us walk this path and make me whole again. I will restore this island to the glory it deserves, the King's Road included.
That's all you wanted to say. Okay. I wish I could access my stuff. Crap, where'd he go? Ooh, dexterity. Okay, I see. Endurance.
Please, state your...
That's the carcass of Fingerless Comb, isn't it? They've been hunting him for the slaughter of 2 keepers, and now they finally got him. Well, you have. Here's your
Go chop off some heads.
Really? Again? Incredible! You're a born killer, aren't you? Instead of just taking out bandit scum, how about hunting something... There's an ogre. He really not. As you can imagine, that if by some miracle bring me the ogre's shiny eye as proof of the kill...
Did they resist? Oh. Go chop off some heads. Do you keep bandits' fingers?
lost to what? Yes? Why not? Hmm?
Yes, exact. Oh, don't get me wrong. I really appreciate what you did for me. It's just that every time I doubt my service in the Horns of the South, I need a reminder of why I enlisted. My mother wasn't much of anything, to tell the truth, and every day she'd bring back home a new uncle. Many of those uncles like to kick me out of my own house when they were drinking and getting busy. Then, when she'd sober up and got rid of an uncle, she'd bake me that pie as an apology. It always tasted like shit. If the other villagers hadn't been feeding me, I would have starved to death. Hence the pie. Yeah, I do. So, despite the shitty weather and the world being on the verge of collapse, there's still nowhere else I'd rather be.
Always good to have a little rest. Sometimes it's nice to just sit and think.
Just keep your head down. And? No, he doesn't. He knows better than that. Ah, look. If I give you something to do, will you stop talking? Here, take some seeds. Find a free plot and grow whatever you want. Besides, I'm a bit curious to see what will come of it. I should stay out of trouble. Stay quiet, stay safe.
Hey, you're heading to the village, right? Tiernan should let you in. Take this medicine to my father, will you? Goban is a loud man. You shouldn't have trouble finding him. I can't promise that.
Ah, he used to serve too. In fact, he was the builder before me. Now he's just an old fart angry at the world.
But a father is a father, right? We may hate each other, but as long as I can help him, I will. Hence, the medicine.
If Haber doesn't know, then I don't either. So we keep trying. Because he received orders not to let any keeper through without a pass, and I don't have one. I've already used mine. Guess what I used it on? That's right, bringing medicine to my father. When that idiot gets an order, he's like a priest who stumbled into an orgy. He's got a stick up his ass. Nothing gets through him. Not all keepers have been here their entire life, you know? He got me before he joined the Horns. Serves me right for wanting to find him, stupid son of a bitch. If only I knew what it would entail. I don't know. Following my old man here was all I ever wanted. Never saw myself as anything else. Tried picturing myself as a husband, a father once. But nah. I wouldn't know how to raise a kid. I'd just mess them up. Like father, like son, I guess. Well, no, of course not. We're not priestesses of the All-Mother. A woman can be an old crone and still devote herself to the All-Mother. But a man's got to have some fight left in him to be a keeper. Old enough to hold a sword, young enough to not break under its weight. We all got different roles around the keep, sure. But at the core, we're warriors. Don't forget that. If I had a gold coin for every time someone asked me that, I could fund the damn thing myself. Look, it's Camelot's orders. I get paid to follow them, not to question them. If they want to throw money at us to keep up appearances, that's their problem. I'm not about to stop them. See you around.
Oh, Mother have mercy. Not another one. If I let you pass, will you promise not to make any trouble? That's just my luck. Take the post, Tiernan, they told me. You'll be looking after a village full of old farts. That's practically early retirement, they said. What a load of crap. There's always something. If it's not the deck falling apart, it's a refugee running around biting people. The deck? Nah, just old wood. Honestly, it's the least of my problems. But I've got no way to fix it. Dara's always busy with his lighthouse, and every time I try to do it myself, someone else needs me for something. I can't even sneak out to the tavern because last time some rich bint started complaining that everything here smells of fish. That's a seaside village. What else would it smell of? You do that? That would be a huge relief. Well, maybe not huge. There are bigger problems, but it'd be a start. Truth be told, I don't know why they want it so badly. It's for boats. No one here even knew, but, well, you know how it is with old folks. Once they get fixated on something, there's no point in arguing. I'd pay if I could, but this was supposed to be my job.
the budget's long gone. But if you're interested, I could teach you a thing or two about home decor. Not exactly standard keeper knowledge, but, well, we all have our secrets. Surprised? Can't blame you. This might sound odd coming from someone stationed in a glorified fish bucket, but I've got a thing for furniture. The only thing more mismatched than the barracks around here is my career choice. But, yeah, I like imagining places where things fit. Where chairs don't wobble, tables don't look like someone hacked them together with a dull axe, and beds, well, beds don't feel like they're plotting your murder while you sleep. Not exact, but hey. Well, to be fair, he only bit one person. But it was a keeper. I know Mahone can be a piece of shit sometimes, but gods. Now both of them are sick. And Haber's got no clue what's wrong. Which is the only reason that refugee isn't dead. Yet. So, he's sitting in a cage. His wife's crying all day, and everyone's pissed. Meanwhile, I'm stuck in the middle of it all. Oh, she's a real piece of work, that one. Her name's Lady Elisa. Something. I don't remember. She came here with her husband. Poor man. I never heard him get a word in. You know, sometimes I regret not getting married. But if I had a wife like her, I'd just end up being a keeper all over again. No need to tell me that. I'd rather sit here and hope everything works itself out. I mean, everyone's gotta die someday, right? So whether it's me or them, at least my problems will be over. No, not really. Fortunately.